Welcome back, fellow ecom nerds. It is Andrew back again with another episode of Nerds of E-commerce. And in this video, we're going to be talking about print on demand, and more specifically, how to research profitable niches so you can create t-shirts, cups, phone cases, whatever it might be that actually makes money. Now, I know last week we mentioned we were going to do a tutorial on how we scaled an online alcohol store to $1.2 million, but because that's taken a little bit longer than we thought, we're going to leave that and put that out next week because we don't really want to release something that's subpar, and we want to make sure that you get the most out of that video, as it's going to be a full step-by-step tutorial. Now, if you watch to the end of this video, we've actually got a little surprise for you in terms of, well, why we're doing all of this. And it's actually going to help you in the long run if you're interested in anything to do with printing t-shirts, printing mugs, printing pretty much anything that you want to sell in terms of merchandise. Being a massive video game nerd, I've decided to turn this video into a game. So level 1 will be about how to actually just do broad research on finding a niche, because maybe we have no idea what niche we even want to tap into. So this will just help us kind of get into the mindset of finding a niche, and then also how do we then test it to see if people will actually want to buy in this niche. Level 2 will then be about refining our research and bringing it down to one niche that we want to focus on. And we're going to use some tools to actually decide, is there enough volume or potential volume to make this product a bestseller? And the third thing we're going to talk about, or level 3, is how to then test this product on a very small scale. And we're going to show you the process for doing just that. So let's start with level 1. So the first thing I'm going to do, we're actually going to use some existing merch sites to figure out what niche we might want to focus on. Now, there's some great sites out there, and what we can do is just go and have a look at them and get an idea for some of the designs, some of the niches, some of the categories. We're just going to have a general look. And now some of the sites I recommend checking out: Teespring, Spreadshirt, Redbubble, Amazon, because you've got Amazon merch, and then also Ripped Apparel. Now, what you want to do, like I said, is just don't think too much about it. You just want to have a look around, and you want to write down maybe 3 to 5 niches that might come up in your research that you really think, hey, you know what, this could work. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just looking through all the different websites to find just a little bit of something that sparks an idea, something that gets us excited. Now, another really cool tool that we can use at this stage is a tool called Exploding Topics. Now, what Exploding Topics is, it's actually a platform, piece of software bought by Brian Dean, who is like a SEO god, and we've been following him for a very long time. And it's a really cool piece of software because what it does, it'll actually show you trending topics. And if you've got no idea in terms of the niche that you might be going after, you could use this software to go in and see what topics are actually trending, which ones are evergreen, and then which ones are kind of losing steam as well. So you've got 3 different color coding on Exploding Topics. You've got your blue, very consistent traffic. Then you've got your red, which is topics that really might have been trending at one point, and now they're kind of tapering off and they're going downhill fast. But the key one is the green. The green shows you topics that are exploding right now, and it even tells you by how much % these things have been increasing. So I recommend this product really heavily. I find it really useful to just get some ideas during this idea generation stage that we're in right now. So go and check out Exploding Topics as well. Okay, so level 2. Wait, that looks bad. Level 2. So in level 2, what we're going to do is, now that we've got a whole bunch of niches that we might, be interested in trying out, something that might interest us, or it could just be something that we've seen to go, you know what, I know somebody who would actually buy that shirt. It could be anything, whatever it is. Now we want to actually hone in and decide, okay, what niche do we want to focus on? So we might have 10 niches, we might have 5, might have 3. Whittle it down to 1. We just want one niche. So there's some tools that we can use to evaluate this as well. The first one being Google Trends. Now, Google Trends is a free tool put out by Google, and what it does is essentially tells you when something's trending. You can filter by country, you can filter by how long of a time period, if it's 5 years, 12 months, whatever it might be. And you can type in by keyword and search and see if your topic is actually, or your niche in this instance, is actually trending, or is it losing steam. So Google Trends is a little bit like Exploding Topics, but it's obviously a Google product and it runs on organic keywords. So it's actually looking at what people are searching for right now, or in the past as well. So I recommend this. It's a free tool, and like I always say, free is awesome. Now, the next tool on the list is called KW Finder. Now, David and I use this a lot in SEO, especially on our e-commerce stores. And what it does is essentially you can search for keywords and find out how much volume they have, how hard they are to rank, so keyword difficulty wise, But the cool thing about this for print on demand is you can actually see how many people are actually searching for your product or your niche in this instance. So what you could type into KW Finder is something like, for instance, we'll pick nurses, and you can type in nurse t-shirts and see how much volume they have, or is there any other kind of keywords around that niche that could form potentially a sub niche that we could dive into. Because if you can niche it down as far as possible, it means we're narrowing down. It makes it easier in the long run if we're running paid traffic through something like Facebook to make that more effective and more cost efficient. Now, the next tool on the list is another SEO tool, and it's quite a well-known one. You've probably heard of it before. It's called SEMrush. Now, the great thing about SEMrush for print on demand or during print on demand research is you can actually reverse engineer other websites. So in this case, what we've got is Teespring, and you could type in Teespring, make sure that you set it to the US, and then find out what keywords Teespring is ranking for. And then what you can do after that, you can go into the advanced filters, type in the keyword that you're actually looking at for the niche that you're interested in, for instance, again, nurses, and see what comes up. Now, what's going to happen is you'll be able to see, one, what keywords that website's ranking for nursing, maybe get an idea of some sub-topics in there as well, or sub-niches, but then also you can get a really great idea of how much volume is being driven every month. And even better than that, you can see the URLs attached to these keywords, and if you click on the URL, or the little box near the URL, you can see exactly what page that keyword is driving traffic to, and voila, you can also see the different designs on that page as well. So you can get an idea of exactly what's selling. So this is a really great little hack as well. Now, the last piece of software on the list is called Merch Informer. Now, I use this more for finding things on Amazon, or specifically around merch by Amazon, which is another way to sell t-shirts. So I use this tool to do that. It cuts down the kind of time it takes to go through manually and search for different designs. It'll tell you, reviews or how many reviews a product has, so you can see if it's been selling or not. So you can see by using all these tools, it cuts down a lot of time, so you can get on with actually designing your t-shirts and also coming up with some sort of marketing or strategy in terms of testing these as well. Okay, we're on to level 3 now. So in level 3, what we're going to be talking about is how to test these designs or niches that you've come up with on a very, very low scale. So what I recommend doing is setting up your page on either Teespring or Etsy. So create a design, put it up on Teespring and Etsy, spend between about $50 and $80 on Facebook ads, drive traffic to it and see if you get any sales. Now, 50 to 80 bucks sounds like a lot of money, but if you don't test it at this stage, you could be spending thousands of dollars before you realize that your t-shirt is complete rubbish and no one wants to buy it. If you're going to run Facebook ads, you don't want to have the standard t-shirt on a white background, because that just looks really boring and no one's going to click on it when they're scrolling through their phone or their news feed. So what do you need to do? Well, there's a site called Placeit.net. So what Placeit does is it'll actually take your design and populate it on a bunch of photos with models on it. So at least it looks like real people are wearing your t-shirts, which is way more interesting than, like I said, having some t-shirts on a white background, which just looks horrible. This is what I recommend doing. It costs a little bit of money, but again, you want to test it properly because you want to make sure that you've actually set up everything in terms of the test so it has the greatest chance of success. Because what you're trying to do now is work out, even if you should be building a store around this niche, or even doubling down and creating more designs in this niche, or maybe even having to go back to the drawing board and create a new design. So if you want to take this one step further, you could go onto Fiverr and find a model and pay them to wear your t-shirt, and this way you could create some video content, so you have video and still content. So you have a lot of things to choose from in terms of your ads. So if you're a bit like me and you're a bit of a perfectionist and you want to make sure that your test is the best it can be, go onto Fiverr, hire a model, get some video content as well, and that way you can use video and you can use images as well on your Facebook ads. So that's it for today's video, but before we get to the bonus section that we promised, now, if you've been liking our videos that Dave and I have been putting out there, please make sure to smash the like button. Also subscribe and click the little bell notification so the next time that we actually release one of these videos, you'll be the first to know. So getting to the bonus you've all been waiting for. We're going to be putting out a whole series on print on demand. So this is the first video, and at the end of the series, we're going to also show you how I actually went through the whole process and created a product. And we're going to see if that's actually successful or not. So this is not going to be one of those fake videos where we pretend that it was really successful and everything went perfectly. We're going to show you warts and all the whole process from start to finish, and we're going to let you know if it actually worked out or not. Now, even though David and I are professionals, sometimes things don't always work out, and we want to make sure that you guys feel that when you're putting stuff out, that it's not always going to be perfect. And you shouldn't feel bad about that, that everything is a test and you're going to learn from your mistakes. And we do that all the time. We make a lot of mistakes, trust me. And in this series, we're going to show you, like, pull back the curtain so you can see exactly what we do. And if we do really well and it takes off, great. If not, well, we go back to the drawing board and we'll start again. But hey, it'll be a fun process. And like I said, there's going to be a whole series on that. So again, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you for the next one next week. And David's got a doozy for you, so we'll catch you then.